Hi there, I'm Lori Pinhorn, social worker and holistic nutritionist. I'm the creator of LoriPinhorn.com and also one of the co-creators of FeedingFuturesNutrition.com. And I'm here today to talk to you about the power of planning. It's really hard to stay on track and live in a healthier lifestyle without doing any planning at all. And quite honestly, this is really where the rubber hits the road. People think that meal planning is difficult, that it's overwhelming, it takes a lot of time. And what I would say to you is that you're sort of right and you're sort of wrong at the same time. If that's sort of your head thought, your framework around meal planning, because you do have to use a little bit of time to make this work. And that's just what I try to say to people. Like, you're just going to have to accept the fact that living in a healthier lifestyle requires some work. Now, does it require as much work as you think it does? Probably not, because I find that's a block sometimes for people. It's like it's just going to be too much work. So what I try to get people's headsets around is that this requires some work, but it doesn't have to be a whole lot of work, and a little bit of planning can go a long way. Now, some of the people who write about living a healthy lifestyle and recovering from emotional overeating and food addictions talk about this psychological state called food confusion, which some researchers are saying that you really must try to avoid being in this state of food confusion at all costs. Now, what is food confusion? It's really simple. It's just what it's the state of when you come home and you're like, I have no idea what I'm going to eat. You've all had these conversations in the staff room with your friends. My gosh, like, I got nothing even taken out of the freezer for supper tonight. Those are all examples of food confusion. And if you want to live in a healthier lifestyle, less emotional overeating, and being able to have some free time, because that's where this really gets neat. Like, you actually will have more time if you start planning and doing some meal preparation ahead of time. Now, for some people, you're going to have to do 2 days a week where you're going to focus on this. And for some people, it'll only be one. So it all depends on how many people are in your home. But when I say to people at the end of like a 12-week program or at the end of a 6-month program, what are some things that you really, really are not going to kind of give up? Like, what were your big aha moments of this? And quite honestly, a huge percentage of people say it's the meal planning and the prep work. I had to get my head around the fact that I've always going to have to try to do this, especially if you have a busy life. And even if you're working in your home or outside of your home, there's a lot of responsibilities. I work in my home, but I would not do without my meal planning either, because I work every day and into the evening. Some of you watching this video know that I'm talking with you like 8, 9 o'clock in the nighttime, right? So it's really, really important to plan. And so what I would say to you is that sometimes it's overwhelming when you're starting to learn this new skill of meal planning and prep to try to figure out what you're going to have for every meal and every snack for a full week. But maybe just start with what are going to be like 7 suppers that you could do. And so do any of them kind of work well as leftovers for lunches? And can any of that freeze really well and be used as some other time when you really were, caught short and you didn't have anything and now there's meals in your freezer? So I spend a full session and give lots of people handouts, and part of the workbooks that I give people is about experimenting with meal planning, because there's so much power comes in knowing what it is that you're going to eat. Maybe not specifically every single meal, every single snack, but it is an amazing feeling to open up your fridge and say, I have all of these options and they're already cooked. And it will keep you out of the drive-through. It will keep you out of the chip truck lunchtimes, and you'll be on track more than you'll be off track. And this is a really good example of using your skill power instead of your willpower. So if this is, a skill that wasn't taught to you in your home, or you didn't learn it along the way, it will take some energy at the beginning. But if somebody came into your life maybe a year later, if you started doing meal planning now and said, oh, by the way, you're not allowed to do that anymore, you'd probably fight for it, because, it's just an amazing thing when you can put some energy into it. And just like learning to play the piano, you have to practice it. So every healthy life skill that's going to help you live here in a healthier life place forever requires practice. So you just have to start small. Think about how you can make this all happen and just pick a day and do some planning and cooking and pre-packaging and just see how it works for you. So I hope you enjoyed the message. If you have some questions about how can I start this meal planning, give me a call, send me a message, and we'll have a chat about it. So have a happy, healthy week. Bye.